Hi, today I'm going to try to show you how to make a easy day look for work. So first things first, let's talk a little bit about skincare, because skincare is what happens before you put on any makeup to make yourself healthy and bright. So the first step to skincare, and every day I start by drinking a really large glass of water first thing when I wake up. Being hydrated is just so important to your overall health, and your skin is a reflection of your health. So we start with this. Next, you want to cleanse after you've taken a shower. So I've been using this Cetaphil, just gentle skin cleanser. This seems to work for me. I wash with this every day, every night. And then a couple times a week I also use this, which is the Clarasonic Mia. And I found this to be really great for just exfoliating and getting a clear layer of skin. After cleansing, you want to moisturize. So I have been using just this sample eye cream since I moved to Switzerland and didn't have room in my bag for anything bigger. But yeah, you need to use an eye cream in the area under your eye. They say to apply with your ring finger because it puts on less product, and the eye area is very sensitive, so you don't want to rub, you just want to pat. The correct way to apply is to actually apply just all the way around the bone of your eye socket. So you just sort of pat all the way around there without actually touching the area directly under your eye. Next, I use this just sort of crap drugstore moisturizing cream. This is Daily Microshaping cream, but I like it. It's pretty big, and it's sort of creamy, and it's really cheap, so I don't mind using a lot of it to get all over my face and neck to moisturize. On top of that, I also put this Cetaphil moisturizer, which has SPF 30. I don't find that this moisturizer is good enough on its own to just use for everyday wear, but I do like the fact that it has sunscreen. So I put that on top of the more creamy Studio 35 moisturizer. So now you're moisturized, and I put on this Clyndomiacin phosphate topical solution, which my dermatologist gave me. If you have acne, it's a good idea to see a dermatologist because they can really help you get it under control. But there are other solutions that work for some people. Just try to figure out what works for you. Great. So now we're ready for the makeup. So what are we going to use today? So this is my sort of arsenal, my toolkit. This was actually a gift from my boyfriend when I first started getting into makeup. This is a Laura Mercier basic brush set, and I've added a couple of different brushes to it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is my eyes. I like to do my eyes first because when you put on eye makeup, sometimes you get a lot of fallout underneath, and you don't want to have your foundation on already because you want to be able to brush that away so you don't look crazy. So the first thing I put on for my eyes is the MAC, I think it's called a paint tub, but it looks like this, and this is a base. The one that I'm using is in, I don't know, it's so Ocre something. It's so worn. But anyway, this has lasted me forever. This lasts forever. So I put this on my eye, just like this. I'm gonna do it in the mirror so I don't mess up. But yeah, I just rub it all the way over the eyelid, and even a little bit up here. I just use my fingers for this. So both on the eyelid and also up here because you're going to put a little bit of eyeshadow up there. Great, and now I'm ready to put on my eyeshadow. So I've been really loving this ColorDesign by Lancome quad in the colors are Daylight, Honeymoon, Guestlist, and Kittenheel, and it looks like this. Yesterday the white broke, but it has lasted me forever, and I intend to just continue using it until I can no longer use it at all. The brush I'm going to use first is is just a Lancome sort of application brush here. Looks like this. I'm going to put on the white, and so I touch the white and then sort of pat it. Looks like this. I don't know if you can see. And then I'm going to put it on the arch underneath my eyebrow to highlight the inside of my eye right here to sort of open up your eye, because white is a highlighter, so you want to open things up. And I'm going to do that on both sides. You can also put it right here to sort of like brighten the rest of your face. So I'm going to put it again up here. Oops, I got my brushes. And right there. The next color I'm going to put on is sort of an all-over color. It's like this nice, creamy, sort of sand color. So I'm going to use this Mercier contour brush, which I absolutely love. I really recommend getting, if you have to like build a brush collection, one of the first ones I would get would be this sort of contoured brush, because it can really apply like a broad swath. So I can just put that in the corner and then sort of turn it, and it applies all throughout pretty evenly. I didn't really do 1 or 2 sweeps. That's really all you need. When you're using brushes and high quality makeup, you don't need to apply a lot. That's sort of the point, that if you're able to budget and spend a little bit of money on something of high quality, you're going to be able to use less in the long run. The next color I'm going to apply is just this reddish thing, and this is sort of like a sort of Photoshop effect. The color of my skin has a lot of red undertones. I'm Irish American, so I have like sort of red cheeks, and this kind of like, I apply it to the outside area to sort of blend and give it sort of like a natural blending in with the rest of my skin. And then for just a little bit more definition, I'm going to take this really small brush. This is called a smudge brush, and I'm going to take the darkest color, which is this sort of deep brown. It's really nice. It's like kind of like a roasted nut brown. So I'm going to take that, and I'm going to put it just on I'm just going to dot it on the very outside, and then I'm going to kind of dot it a little bit inside. And what we're doing, what you want to do with this color, or the darker color that you use, is you want to sort of give your eyes depth. And there's different ways to do this depending upon what sort of eye shape you have. Some people have wide set eyes, some people have hooded eyes. That's like sort of like typically like Asian eyes, but like lots of people have hooded eyes. Other people have sort of more open eyes. So you want to find the technique that works for you. So my eyes are a little bit hooded. The bone here comes out over my eyes, and so I want to actually try to create the perception of depth and make my eyelids, which are quite large but you can't really see them, make them look a little bit bigger. So I like to apply this to the crease underneath the eye bone in order to sort of give that perception of depth. But this is a very dark color, so it needs to be blended. So then I use this blending brush. This is from MAC 224. I use this to sort of really just sort of work it in there. And you want to do a good job blending so everything looks nice and natural. You don't want a lot of stark contrasts in this simple day look. You might want that if you're, you know, going out or something else, but this is just a simple day look for work or school. Just gonna do that to the other side. Dot it on the side, and then kind of dot it up through the crease underneath your eye bone. And I sometimes like to sort of reapply this, apply it twice on both sides. I think one of the, you know, the biggest difference in how your eye makeup looks and is whether or not you're able to really blend it well. So a blending brush is another good first or second brush after the contour brush, which I just love. If you don't have a smudge brush, you can actually use a Q-tip. It's about the same size to just dot that on, but not to blend. Great, so that sort of concludes my eye look. I don't know if you can really see it very well because the light seems to be pretty bad over there. There we go. So that kind of concludes the eye shadow part. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put on my mascara. So this is Chanel Inevitable. This is a dark brown mascara. I really like that. I find it less intense, more work appropriate. And I don't put on eyeliner for work. Some people like it. I think it looks really dramatic. If you want to put a little more, if you want to do a little bit of a more subtle look underneath your eyes, you can take an eyeliner brush, use that same really dark color, get the eyeliner brush a little bit wet, and you can do what's called tight lining your eyes. So tight lining is not lining on the top, but rather lining on the bottom. So let's see. Ooh, hey Zoom. Let's see if I can show you how to do that here. Alright, so you just sort of do underneath the eye. I can't really do it in the video, but yeah, you do underneath the eye. Like that, to give your eye lashes a little bit more of a fuller look. But eyeliner doesn't always look dramatic or too heavy for work. It just happens to on my eyes because my eyes are really quite, I don't have a lot of eyelid to show, and so when I put on eyeliner it sort of closes my eyes. Now I'm going to put on the mascara. Chanel's Inevitable Intense. I like waterproof mascara because I just don't want it to run if my eyes water or I cry, which is perfectly normal and fine. So I put this on. When you're applying it, you want to like, I like to lift my eye. Other people say you shouldn't because it might, I don't know, give you bad skin later. But I like to lift it a little bit, and then you put it on and you kind of want to wiggle it, the base, to get that, all of the mascara product that's going to apply, you want most of it at the base. So you kind of wiggle and then up real fast. Did you see that? So you kind of want to wiggle and then up. This is getting old and kind of dried out, so I have to apply more than when I first got it. And I don't think I'm gonna go back to this mascara. I've bought like 3 of them, so habit would indicate that I will. But I just feel like I end up having to apply a lot more of it than I think I need to. And I don't know if it just sort of seems to dry out quickly, but maybe I just don't close it well enough. So I'm really gonna concentrate the mascara application to the top lashes. And I don't really curl my eyelashes, I just kind of push them up with my mascara. The bottom, I, again, really don't, sometimes I don't ever put anything on there, but if I do, I just do like a tiny little once over, because I find that the bottom, a lot of heavy makeup on the bottom makes it look very unnatural, and I'm going for more of a natural day look here. So wiggle and then up, wiggle and then up, and then I just kind of work it through. When you're applying to the bottom, you can turn your mascara wand like this and just kind of go like that to kind of touch it up. So that's the eyes. You want to close your eyes, like make a face when you're done, so that if there's any excess mascara, you see that there's really not for me. You get that, and if there's any fallout, I just take, instead of rubbing it off, I just take a big powder brush and I just kind of brush it off, because it's powder, so it's better than smudging it. Just gonna brush that out, the area under the eyes, because this can get quite dark. Speaking of which, it's a good idea to brighten the area under the eyes if you look tired. So I have these two products. It's Bobbi Brown, and these are called the Corrector right here in light to medium bisque. The thing I like about Bobbi Brown is that the labels don't fall off, so you can always tell what you bought. And then the creamy concealer in beige. So these are for the eye, more or less. So I'm gonna use the Corrector, which is a nice, again, reddish color. You need to choose which undertones you buy based on your own skin tone. So I like Bobbi Brown because in addition to having sort of red cheeks, I have a lot of, Bobbi Brown has a lot of sort of yellow tones, and I find that that looks nice and natural. So I just kind of patted that with, again, the ring finger underneath my eye. And then I'm going to put this is a concealer, but I use it under my eyes. I'm going to put that under there too. Just delicately, because it's a really sensitive area. There you go. Okay, and then yes, if you have any blemishes, like I have a couple, but they're getting better, you might want to cover them up. So you have this Mercier, this is called Secret Camouflage, and I've been happy with this. It also has a sort of corrector, which you can also use under your eyes. So I just sort of lightly dab. Some people put on concealer after they put on foundation. I put it on before. Just any sort of redness, anything that you want to have smoothed over. Photoshop your face. You can just sort of dab it on, and I'm kind of liberal with it, because I'm gonna put my foundation on right after, so it's kind of gonna get blended anyway. So I just kind of leave it not really blended. And then I've been using recently, again, this Bobbi Brown. I've gone back to this just for work. It's a really nice, I really like this. It's a really nice and light foundation. It's called Natural Finish Long Lasting Foundation, and it has SPF 15, which I love. But I just find that it goes on really easy, and I can apply it with my hands, which I like. It's probably better to apply with a foundation brush, but I don't have one, so I don't. Put about that much, and then I kind of touch my fingers to each other. I touch here, touch here, touch here. That sort of helps me distribute it. And then this is a nice and light foundation, a lighter coverage. I think it might be technically a medium coverage, but I find it to be very light. So this is the kind of foundation I use when my skin is not looking like a minefield, because it's not going to give you a full coverage if you've got, you know, just if you've been breaking out and you have a ton of blemishes. So I just like the way it feels and the way it goes on. So I put that on. I do notice with this foundation though that I get a little bit more oily towards the afternoon. So you kind of have to end up blotting your skin. It's a bit of a take. Next I'm going to put on this powder. This I just got like a couple months ago and I love it because it lasts forever. It was like mo expensive. I don't remember how much it was. I think it was like 80 bucks, but I have a gift certificate, so thanks Mom, Christmas. But yeah, it's like, it's called Poudre Universel Libre. It's like, I'm sorry, it's a natural finish loose powder, and this is in 20 Clair translucent, but you should have it matched to you. And the thing that's a little bit annoying about this is that it's like, I don't know if you can see, but it kind of just like sits in there, and then there's like this filter, so you have to be kind of careful not to spill it. But what I end up doing is I take my powder brush, and I expect this will last me like a million years because I rarely used any. I take one dab right into that big thing of powder, and then I don't even use that much. I then take the cap and I kind of, it like almost all of it comes off, put it in the cap to save it, and then I just sort of really let the remainder is just like that much, and that's a lot. I just sort of dab that to cover my face. The idea of powder is to get your foundation to set, so you really want the foundation to be just kind of set with the powder. So I just kind of, and the application is like this, dabbing, not rubbing, dabbing. Particularly around areas where you maybe get a little bit more oily. And this is also a Chanel brush. This is a powder brush I got at the same time as I got the powder. And I'm happy with it. I really like it, but I noticed that like a couple of the bristles have come out already, which is something I generally associate with cheaper brushes. And this was not a cheap brush. This is Chanel. I did not fuck around. But like, I feel like they shouldn't come out. Not when this is like a brand new brush. So kind of pissed about that, but I do like it, and it just, if they come out I just kind of wipe them off. It's not very often, I don't know, but it does piss me off. So yeah, this is good. This is made of, I think, this is made of someone's hair. I don't remember which animal, but it's made of somebody's hair. Like a goat? I don't know. But I think that goat, and sorry, that's awful. Okay, next I'm going to put on some bronzing powder. Again, this is Bobbi Brown. This powder I've had forever, and I can't finish it, but I don't think I'm gonna buy it again because it's like too dark. This is dark number 3. This is just an issue with selecting the right color. But anyway, I keep using it because I bought it. So bronzing powder, dark number 3, looks like this. This thing broke, so I was a little pissed. That motherfucker. I used this Laura Mercier brush that came with my brush set, and I just really need like one dab. Well, that was very intense. And then it's like still too much, so I put it on my hand first, because if you put it directly on your face, you're gonna have like it's like the sun was zeroing in directly on your face. So this is like sparingly, because I have a red undertone, so dun 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 dun. And the idea the traditional theory with bronzer is that you kind of want to contour your face so that it looks thinner and it sort of hits you in the place that the sun naturally would. So it's like the idea of a 3. So you do 3 like that. See that? You do backwards. 3 like that. And you kind of do it, I kind of do it in a circle like this. 3. And then I use the rest from my hand. This is where spending like some amount of money on makeup is worth it, because this stuff really lasts a very long time, and I think you do generally get what you pay for. Not always, but generally. And I'm always interested to know when you don't, because if I can spend less on something for good quality, like, I want to do that 1000%. I also use sometimes a little bit of this like cheek highlighter from MAC. Now this MAC is just a total piece of shit, like in terms of packaging. I mean, I am like astounded. I mean, this had been like the second day and I can't get rid of this stuff. But I like the way it looks on my face, so I keep using it and didn't send it back. But this, I will never buy this again because it just falls apart immediately and it's a huge pain in the ass. But it does look nice. So for what, I mean, it's like it's a little bit cheaper compared to some of the other stuff, and for what it is, it's Shell Frost cream color based. I think it's a good look. So if you never drop your stuff and you're really careful, which I'm not, go for it. I smile and I put this like on the top of my cheek. I just give it a little shimmer. Tiny little bit. But yeah, I hate bad packaging. I dropped my stuff. Alright. Finally, I'm gonna put on a little bit of just a natural, I like to put on lipstick, but I don't know where I put it. I'll put on just a little bit of this Juicy Tube from Lancome. I like these things, they're fun. Just a little bit of a gloss. They last for a long time too. Unless you're like an addict and you put it on every 5 minutes, which I kind of am, but just gives you a little bit of a pucker. And that's it. Easy day look. Ready for work. Thanks for watching. You can follow me on Banana Unpeeled. How does my camera work?